First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone for teaching the truth. I want to say peace and blessings to the house of David, the hopeful elect, to you brothers that's out here pushing this truth, making your bodies a living sacrifice, praying to be part of the elect, praying to make it into the kingdom of heaven on the first go around. And that's out here doing the work, you know. Okay, the first scripture I want to get is Matthew chapter 24 and 1. And Yahweh Shai went out and departed from his temple. And the disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahweh Shai said unto them, see you not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. Right, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing wars and hearing the rumors of wars. You know, it said, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, which is happening now. You know, you got these different countries rising up against one another. And you actually got Jake trying to rise up against Esau. And Esau is rising up against Esau. The Egyptians are against the Egyptians. Right? Said, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Yeah, it shall be hunger out here, man. Starvation. People out here starving for the lack of food, man. Pestilences, coronavirus, and these different diseases that's going on throughout here, man. Different pandemics, right? And earthquakes in diverse places. Now all these are the beginning of sorrows. So the Lord said all these are just the beginning of sorrows, right? Said, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So it's going to be a lot of people out here getting put to death, man, because the iniquity going to abound, and the love of many ain't going to wax cold, man. It's going to get very cold out here, man. People not going to care of you, they neighbor, you, they old friend. No, man. From the famine, people is going to be killing people, man. People will be robbing you, kidnapping your daughters, breaking into your house, spoiling your goods, raping your women, your children, cannibalism. But see, but the elect, as the elect, praying that we part of the elect, hopefully we part of the elect, Yah Razazah, we don't have to worry about that, right? Because we know what the Lord said. The Lord said his servants are going to eat, but they're going to be hungry. His servants are going to drink. Even in the book of 2nd Ezra, I think it's chapter 2, it tells us that we're going to have an abundance. And the heathen, they're going to envy us. They're going to hate us. But they're going to be able to do nothing against us, said the Lord. Right? Continuing over here in Matthew 24. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And because the iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in that holy place. Whosoever readeth, let him understand. Let him understand. Who gonna understand? The elect gonna understand. Going down to verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor shall ever be. Spoken of by Daniel in Daniel chapter 12, right? It's gonna be great tribulation, a time like never before. Verse 22. And except those days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is the anointed, a Mashiach, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false anointed ones, false Hamashiachs, false Christs is what they call them, and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, and so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Right. So skipping down to Matthew 24 and 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the earth of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven. Talking about those chariots, those heavenly vehicles, what you call UFOs, or what they call UFOs, right? See, we know what they are, though. Those are IFOs. They've been identified, man. The scriptures identify them as the chariots of the Most High, man. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect. They shall gather together his elect. His elect. The elect from the four winds. Not all Israel is going to be gathered. Only the elect. Starting with the 144,000 and the helpers of the prophets, and the women and children of the of the prophets, right? From one end of heaven to the other. Now learn the parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, you know that summer is nigh. So when you see these prophecies come on the pass, these prophecies spoken of early on in this chapter, you should know that summer is nigh. You should know that your redemption is nigh, right? So likewise ye, when ye shall all see these things, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, and marrying and giving in marriage, until that day that Noah entered into the ark. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall it also be. Also the coming of the Son of Man be. So even Noah, I think Noah prophesied for 120 years. I think it was 120 if I'm not mistaken. But people didn't want to hearken unto Noah. They thought Noah was a fool up until that day. Same way they do the messengers now, the prophets now. I think we fools. Lord willing, I pray to be part of man of the Lord, right? But yeah, they look at us like fools. Why? Because we reading out the Bible, which they destroy for the lack of knowledge, because they think the white man wrote the Bible. When in fact, the Bible condemns the damn Edomites, these white men, white woman and child, white man, woman and child, man. Saying they going in slavery. And after they slavery, they're gonna be burned off the face of the earth, man. So why would the white man write his own destruction? So going over here into the book of Mark chapter 13. Same thing Matthew 24 was telling you. And he went out of his temple. One of his disciples said unto him, Master, see what manner of stones and what buildings are here. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, seest thou these great buildings? There shall not be one left one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, over against the temple, Peter and James and John and Andrew asked him privately, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of when all these things shall be fulfilled? And Yahushua answered them and began to say, Take heed lest any man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying that I am the anointed, or Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be. But the end shall not be yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows. It's also said, But take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you up to councils, and in the synagogues ye shall be beaten, and ye shall be brought before rulers and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them. And this gospel must first be published among the nations, among all nations. He said, but when they shall lead you and deliver you up, take no thought beforehand what you shall speak, neither do you premeditate. But whatsoever shall be given you in that hour, that speak ye. For it is not ye that speak, but the Holy Ghost. Basically, it's the Holy Ghost that speaks through you. It's the Spirit, brother. It said, now the brother shall betray the brother to death, and the father the son, and the children shall rise up against their parents, and shall cause them to be put to death. And you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, because you're not coming in with that Christ spirit, but you coming in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You're going to be hated. See why? Because the world hated him. It's not you they hate. Like Yahweh Shai say, it's not us they hate. It's Yahweh Shai they hate. And they hate Yahweh who sent Yahweh Shai. Is not the servant greater than his master? He said, but then he shall then slack it. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. That's right, man. This is 2 Peter chapter 3. This is 2 Peter chapter 3, and I think it's Chapter 3 and verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall be in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts, and saying, where's the promise of his coming? See, you got people out here that don't even believe Yahushua coming back. You got people that don't even believe in Yahushua. For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. For this they are willingly ignorant of, that by the word of the Most High Yahweh, the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved until fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. That's right. It said, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, to the elect, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. What? Talking about the thermonuclear missiles, those explosions, booms and bangs, right? And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The elements are speaking of what? Trees, cars, houses, businesses, offices, you name it. Even people, which are made of elements, are going to melt with fervent heat, extreme heat, million-degree heat, over million-degree heat. And the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be? In all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we according to his promise, whose promise? Yahweh Bashem Yahushua's promise. We look forward to a new heaven. We look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. That's right, man. We look forward to a righteous king, a righteous leader. We look forward to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua coming back into rulership, coming back and taking this devil down, man, and ruling over all these nations with a rod of iron, man. We look forward to that, man, because we know this place here is not our rest, man. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21. Verse 25. Let's start at let's go to 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, the stress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, for looking after those things which are coming up on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud, in a big chariot. According to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, Ezra had a dream of Yahushua entering into the atmosphere, into the firmament, in a chariot so big he couldn't tell where it began or end. And these things began to come to pass. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. And he spake to them a parable. Behold, the fig tree and all the trees, when they now shoot forth, you should know of your own selves that summer is nigh at hand. So likewise ye, when you should see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of the most high power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, is nigh at hand. Verily I say unto you, this generation here, shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. The heaven shall pass away. Slaki, the heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. Saying, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that the day come upon you unaware. That's right, man. So what we need to be focused in prophecy, man. Occupied in prophecy, man. Focusing on the downfall of this kingdom, man. Yeah. All holy conversation. And that's considered holy conversation. This world talking about, hey, when basketball coming back on, man. That's the only thing they look forward to, man. They're looking forward to this damn country opening back up, the world opening back up, and they want things to go back to normal. No, man, we want things to go to hell, man, so that we can get to heaven, man. That's what we want. That's what we looking for, man. That's what we praying for, man. Cause this place don't know Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. These people don't know Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Nope. They don't even know who their enemy is, man. They don't know Esau Edom is their enemy, man. That's right, man. This is the book of Luke. Let me go to Luke 1. They don't know Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Speak it out to them right now, man. I did 21 again. Yeah. They think we just some random dudes just decide to pick up a Bible. Now, you first had to be called into this thing, man. This is Luke chapter 1 and verse 68. Blessed be the Lord power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, man. The Lord power of Israel, he visited and redeemed his people, man. His elect, man. Not the whole nation of Israel, the elect, the 1/3, the innumerable multitude, man. Strong with 144,000, man. His beloved, man. That's right, man. This is the book of Proverbs. Proverbs 1. Verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge. The Most High gonna reject them, man. He said there ain't gonna be a priest unto him. If they forgot these laws, he gonna forget their children, man. Say, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. This is Proverbs 1 and 20. Wisdom cried without. She uttered her voice in the streets. She cried in the chief place of concourse in the opening of the gates. In the city she uttered her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and the fools hate knowledge, man. Skip down 24. Because I have called and ye refuse. How does the Most High call, man? The Most High called through his prophets. Let's grab that right quick, man. This is Luke. This is Luke 1 and 70. as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, man. And the spirit, so the prophets are subjected to the prophets, man. So if you was a prophet in your before life, the life before, you're gonna come back as a prophet, man. And the Lord is still speaking through you, man. That's right, man. And we just hope that we were the prophets, man. Because men at Great Millstone, they doing what the prophets did, man. And doing what the prophets do. They bring out everything, man. Your enemy, you being Israel, the mark of the beast. You know, hey, the time we in, what's vaccinations removed from homes. Whatever you want to touch on in the Bible, man, men at Great Millstone bring it out, man. And I'm not a part of Great Millstone, but hey, I'm for Great Millstone, man. I know Great Millstone got the 100% truth, man. Starting with the apostles and the elders, man. Yeah, man, but I ain't mean to make this too long. You know, I'm gonna say Shalom. Say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem Rakakadash. It's all praises to the Most High Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. In the Holy Spirit, you know. Give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching the truth. You know, peace and blessings to the house of David, to the hopefully elect. You know, to your brothers that's out here pushing this word, making your bodies a living sacrifice to help seal the elect, man. Unto you, I want to say Shalom, man.